Hello everybody, it's Isabel Marie again, coming from the stairwell in my townhouse. I had to get out of the heat, and I kind of just want to let you guys know a little bit more about me and who I am and where I'm coming from and stuff. A lot of people out there have just been so great in supporting me and connecting with me, and they know a lot about my story, guys. Of course, not many people know everything about me because that's way too long to go through, but I just kind of want to highlight a couple of things about me in my life that I think a lot of people can identify with. I grew up in a larger family. You know, we're a family of 6, 2 boys, 2 girls, my mom and my dad worked, my mom stayed home. My dad is actually Italian, and my biological mom was Mexican-Hawaiian, but my real mom is Mexican. And the thing is I saw my parents go through so much, being on one income with 4 kids, and I remember the food stamps and being in line and stuff and how people look at you different. I remember, my mom doing the best she could, and going to ask for help in the churches and stuff. I love you, Mom and Dad. I remember wanting what other kids had, I remember wanting my own bedroom, and I remember so many things about, moving around as an army brat and stuff, and learning a lot about how hard it is for your parents, but being a kid and not knowing how hard it is until you are a parent. Like most kids, I thought I knew it all, and I'm very smart, and I grew up ahead of my time. So at the age of about 16, 17, me and my parents decided to mutually let me move out. And because I already had a boyfriend at the time that I was serious with, and he was a good guy, and I had a job and stuff. So I went to high school and I had my own apartment, and it worked out. I never went back to my parents' house, and I went and started traveling, doing my own things. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what I want, what I don't want, and a lot of people want to know where my journey came from, where Isabel Marie ended up being more ambitious, more careful, more of the person that I am today and the person I'm becoming tomorrow. And that actually happened, guys, when I was 18. I didn't know my biological mom. I met her twice when I was 15, one in 94 and one in 95, and she wasn't really a good mom ever, and I didn't even know I had another mom until I was 13. But for the last couple years of her life, when I was about 16, 17, she was diagnosed with cancer. And I didn't know her enough to care for her. I didn't care if she was dying or not. And call it youth, call it stubbornness, I really didn't feel for somebody I didn't know. I had my mom at home raising me anyways, around me. And I already had my mom and dad. So long story short, for a couple of years she battled cancer. I didn't even care. She was in California and I was in Wisconsin. And she died. And the day that my mom called me at work to tell me my real mom died, it was so weird because I cried. I didn't understand why I was crying and how I can cry for a stranger I did not know. But at that moment, guys, everything changed for me. I went home, my mom picked me up, and I went to their house, and I was crying and stuff. And I remember going outside on a beautiful starry night in Wisconsin, and that whole question of who am I, what am I doing here, what's my purpose here and stuff, and came up. And what had happened for me, guys, is because I had been through a lot in my lifetime in a short time, moving around, not having the best childhood, like a lot of people can relate, we all have problems and stuff, and it's nothing bad to my parents. Parents, we do what we know how. We're not taught to be parents, so I still love my family, don't get me wrong, guys. So what had happened was my crossroad came where I had a decision to make. I was 18 years old, and I realized that even though as an 18-year-old girl I couldn't go and tell my mom I loved her, the least I could have done is told her I forgave her. How would it be to be in my late 30s and know I'm dying and know that I have all these regrets and all these things I've never did and all these things I wanted to do and all these woulda, coulda, shouldas, and having all your kids there but one to say you're sorry to or you love them. And that was me. I was that one. And I don't know if it was out of stubbornness or I just didn't care or it wasn't my thing, but that was the first time, guys, that I actually put myself in somebody else's shoes to the point where it's like I could have at least gave her that. I could have at least went off and told her I forgave her, even if I couldn't tell her I love her. So when I decided that, I heard my dad used to complain there's no many good people in the world and, life's about struggling and stuff, I decided to, rather than be my father and complain about those things, I'd rather become myself and be that good person and not have to say it. So right then and there, guys, it was so hard because my parents and I had the most awful relationship. We were not getting along. I didn't respect them. They didn't respect me because of a lot of, issues and stuff. And that's when I decided to start saying, my I love yous, my goodbyes, my thank yous, my I'm sorries, being the bigger person. Because if I left like my mom did, what would I have to regret? I didn't want to regret not one single thing in my entire life. And that night, guys, I remember thinking that, okay, I'm 18 years old. I've been through a lot. If I hadn't committed suicide, if I hadn't ended up on drugs or drinking or a prostitute or ended up in jail or fighting a lot, if I didn't end up, crazy on antidepressants and all depressed, and if I didn't end up, as a bad kid or a bad person, then maybe there was something there for me. Maybe, God didn't take me away yet. I was only 18, but maybe there was something, and I intended to find it. I intended to find myself, fulfill my role, and not become who my parents wanted me to be or become them. I wanted to become myself. And it's not easy to go out there, guys, and make that decision and stuff, but I remember that changed the rest of my life. I'm now going to be 28 here in October of, '07, and it's been 10 years since that night, and I remember it all the time. It's like every day I make a choice. Yeah, I failed today. I got upset. I could have cried. I could have just quit and been upset and say, you know what, I don't want to do this stuff anymore. I face things just like you guys do. Evictions, electrical, bills getting cut off, not enough money at the end of the month, not enough food, not enough everything. I do the same thing, guys, too. Don't think that because of these videos my whole life has changed, but it's changing because I'm choosing for it to change. I've made that connection. So if anything of what I just shared with you guys makes sense, and you can relate and identify with, find me, guys. This is not just about business. It's about finding yourself and really being the best you can be for you, and not what everybody else thinks or says you're going to be just because of your circumstances, just because you didn't grow up in the perfect home, or you don't have a lot of money, or you don't have a lot of experience or a computer. You guys, I'm the living testament to that. This is just a part of my journey, and I know there's a lot of things in my future that I'm going to struggle through just the same. I'm going to go through heartaches and heartbreaks and bad moments just the same. The law of polarity, the yin and the yang, the good and the bad, it comes with life. But that's life, guys. It's what you choose to do in spite of those things that makes you the person that you are. So find me. My website is www.myspace.com/Miss_Izzy, ISSY. If this touched you enough and you want to go ahead and call my traveling business cell phone, it's 915-694-3729. This is the first time I've ever given my number over this video, and the reason I'm doing it is because this story, I don't know what I'm going to say when I shoot these videos, but because of the way it came out, and it's so special and there's an emotional connection to me. If there's somebody out there feeling like they just want to pick up that phone and talk and get to know me and let me see how I can help improve your life, find me. You guys have a great day. God bless you guys. I'm here for you guys. Do the best you can do in life. Be the best you can be in life, and you will have the best you can have in life. You guys have a great day, and God bless. This is Isabel Marie signing off. Aloha.